So, some people struggle with how to communicate to God and, or your higher self or your higher powers or whoever it is you believe in. And I just talk, right? I don't really have anything specific. I am thankful for being strong even when I know I was weak. I'm thankful for bringing resources to me when I was all out of them. You know what I mean? I am thankful for having the strength to walk away from things that I wanted to desperately stay in, right? I think what I do is I really do start with gratitude because for me, your future depends on what you are manifesting today, right? So if you want to know what your future looks like, then you should look at what your patterns and cycles are today because we are manifesting our future by the things that we do in our life today. That's not a thing where you put it on the shelf and say, okay, like, I'm going to live this crazy life right now, but then in the next month or so, I'm going to have this like peaceful. It doesn't, it has to align, right? It has to align. So, whatever you're doing in your current self is what is going to show up in your future. So, please be mindful of that. That's really important to know. It's, critical to know actually because if you want your whatever you want your future to look like is what you should be working on right now, right? It's what your life should look like right now. Whatever habits and patterns you're creating right now is what your future is going to look like, so be very, very mindful of that. But it's starting with gratitude, and it's recognizing, right, what you had versus what you didn't have and how you got it, right? And 9 times out of 10 it wasn't people, right? And if because we all go through that, right? That's the journey, that's the lesson, that's the growth, that's the chosen, that's the all of those things, right? It's recognizing all of that and giving grace and gratitude for that because you know intuitively that those things needed to happen. Sometime God will put your blessings on hold until until things are revealed, until things are seen, right? Until you recognize things, right? That's why sometimes it's important to be patient because God knows what He's doing. And sometimes your blessings have to be on pause until you remove people, places, and things out of your life. People, places, and things that you probably would share your abundance with, right? God puts things on hold for a reason. Sometimes we need to see things. But in order to have those things visibly and intuitively intact, you have to have that communication. You have to talk to God about those things. You don't have to say, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Like the things that we learned in school. But you don't have to have a scripted you don't have to have a scripted thing either to talk to God. Like I love Psalms, right? Psalm 91, Psalm 23 is my favorite. The Lord is my shepherd is a psalm that I have carried with me my entire life, and it has helped move me out of situations and out of things just by reciting it every single morning. So, God definitely, He definitely prepares a table in front of your enemies. Always know that. Pray for whatever it is that you want to pray for. And stop going to your things and your situations and your problems with people. Just go take it to Him because He's the only one that can make miracles happen. I have had miracles happen in my life that sometimes could feel like disasters. But in the end, right? you're like, wow, this was amazing. So pray like you're communicating with your friends. Honestly, pray like give gratitude. You have to give gratitude. You have to give thanks. Giving thanks is super, super important because, again, the manifestation, right? You're giving thanks for the things that you have so that you can continue to get the blessings that you deserve.